Is game two a must-win basketball game for the Minnesota Timberwolves as they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City? Also, how should the Minnesota Timberwolves guard Shai Gilgis Alexander, the 2025 NBA MVP? All that and more on today's podcast. But first, check out 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis if you need your bathroom transformed. And they will give you the quickest and convenient, greatest bathroom transformation that you could ever ask for. 48 hours later, my wife and I bathroom was done. New floor, new shower, new surround. Just take a look at the before and after pictures if you're watching this on YouTube. The before pictures, a blue floor, a step going into the shower, handrails everywhere. It was disgusting, and it was ugly and embarrassing, and there was mold. 5-Star Bath Solutions came in, ripped up the floor, new floor. Got rid of the step, no step. New tub, no mold, new shower surround. Went from 1 sink to 2 sinks, new vanity, updated, beautiful bathroom transformation. Free consultation available and affordable payment plans. Free consultations available and affordable payment plans. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis will transform your bathroom in 48 hours. Don't wait 6 to 8 weeks for a transformation. Get your transformation done now. All right. Game 2 is tonight. Timberwolves, Thunder. First, let's talk about this. How should the Minnesota Timberwolves guard Shai Gilgis Alexander? Well, the point guard had his MVP speech earlier, and this really has nothing to do with guarding him. But first, I want to say this about him. He gets ridiculed online because he is an elite foul drawer. He has perfected the art and mastered the art of getting contact, selling contact, and getting to the free throw line and getting other people in foul trouble. And sure, it's not the most appealing basketball to watch, but he should be celebrated because he is the best at what he does. And he is also the most humble superstar ever. Every post-game interview always includes his teammates. In his MVP speech, he talked about how him and his teammates do all of these different things together off the court. The dude includes his team in everything he does. It is never about him. But as far as how the Timberwolves should guard him, the Timberwolves need to guard him 94 feet from the basket, even if he doesn't have the ball, and be immediately physical with him so that the officials know the feeling of the game. They know how the game is going to be played. This is what you cannot do. You cannot allow Shai to walk up the court with the ball or without the ball, isolate on the top of the key without putting your hands on him. He gets into the paint, you put your hands on him, it's a foul every time. Because you're going from one extreme to the other. You need to be physical with him immediately so that you're not going from one extreme to another. It's consistent across the court, whether he has the ball or doesn't have the basketball. So the way the Timberwolves should guard him is to be physical with him on the top of the key. And that's what you saw from the Thunder. That's how they guarded Anthony Edwards. When Edwards was on top of the key and near half court, the Thunder were pressuring him. They had their hands all over him. They were bodying him. So then when Edwards got into the paint, you were not seeing a different kind of physicality with him, and it didn't look like a foul. Shai is so good at manipulating his body and ricocheting off defenders in certain areas of the floor, and it's going to look a lot different if you aren't physical with them on the top of the key. So that's how the Timberwolves should guard him. Got to be physical with him. Got to get up in his business. He shot 10 for 27 in game one. It's not like he was great, but he got to the free throw line 14 times and made 11. And that's where he did most of his damage. So you need to be physical with him from the get-go. And that's how you guard him. All right. Must-win game for the Wolves. I say absolutely a must-win game. Because I do not believe the Timberwolves can go back to Target Center and win 2 in a row against Oklahoma City. If the Thunder win game 2, this series is over in 5 games. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If the Thunder win game 2 and go up 2-0, they will go to Minneapolis and split those games, and the series will end in game 5 against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. The Timberwolves are good enough to split at Target Center, so the series would not end in a sweep. They could get their crowd going and find one hot shooting stretch in Minneapolis if they go down 2-0, and they'll split. And maybe it will be even game 3 where they give you a little inkling of hope. But the Thunder are so consistent, athletic, and match up so good with the Timberwolves that if the Wolves do not win game 2, this series is over. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. The series is over if the Wolves cannot win game 2. And it's over because I don't think the Wolves can win back-to-back games against Oklahoma City. That's what the Thunder, that's what happened to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets did not win back-to-back games against the Oklahoma City Thunder because the Thunder attack you and they're aggressive and they're athletic. And I don't think the Timberwolves can win games 3 and games 4 against Oklahoma City. So that's why tonight is a must-win game. The last subject that I wanted to dive into is Anthony Edwards' approach in game 2. And really in game 1. Because Anthony Edwards had the same approach in game 1 that he has really had throughout the entire playoffs. And it's kind of chill out in the first half, just kind of massage your way into the game, just kind of hang out, do your thing, chill out. And then in the second half, pick it up and really put your stamp on the game. You can't do that against the Thunder. Anthony Edwards needs to be prepared to play in the opening minute and set the tone early against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now is not the time to get your teammates involved early and take over in the second half. Now is the time to take over in the first quarter and the second quarter and the third quarter and the fourth quarter. If the Wolves want to win this series, Anthony Edwards cannot put his stamp on the game in the third or fourth quarter. He needs to put his stamp on the game the entire game because the Thunder are too good and too athletic offensively and defensively for the Timberwolves to win this series with Edwards only really putting an impact on the game in the third or fourth quarter. When Edwards does that, when he only affects the game offensively in the third or fourth quarter, and you really see his will, he really acts like a 40-year-old LeBron James. Because what LeBron does at his age is he's selective. He kind of hangs out in the first quarter, and at the end of the second quarter with a few minutes left, he'll put his stamp on the game. Because when you're 40, you can't be aggressive or as aggressive in the first quarter as you are in the third or fourth quarter. And that's what Anthony Edwards is doing. He is selectively putting his stamp on the game when he is a 23 or 24-year-old NBA All-Star entering the prime of his career, when he's got plenty of energy to put his stamp on the entire game. He's acting like an elderly superstar that tries to be selective. You can't do that. You've got to be ready to play from the opening tip through all four quarters if the Wolves want any chance at winning this series, especially because the bench mob has been absolutely atrocious. So Edwards needs to change his approach. And I said this before the series started. Against Golden State, we saw Edwards take over in the third quarter, and he erupted. But he needs to erupt in the first quarter, and the second quarter, and the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. Distributing, playmaking, and scoring. So we need to see an entirely different Edwards than we've seen these past few games for the Timberwolves if they want any chance at competing in the NBA Finals. So that's what needs to change. All right. Thank you for watching. Remember, 5-Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis. Check them out today. You'll be happy. I promise you that. They'll get your project done in 48 hours. Free consultations and affordable payment plans. They've got all the stuff. All right. Thanks for watching and listening. Everyone have a good day.